Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I hope you like the new background. I decided to make everything a little bit more colorful and save myself the trouble of having to clean my room every time I wanted to record. That being said, today I want to talk about build-ups. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to look at a problem that I've been struggling with a lot, and that's just elevating the energy levels of my build-ups. And what I want to do is I want to show you a synthesis technique that I used for a particular element that just really adds some of that energy back into your build-ups. So let's dive right in. So here we are in the project. It's the same project that I used for my vocal explanation. So let's have a listen to this build-up.
Now let's begin.
So that's the build-up as it is now with that element in there. Now I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to let you listen to it again and see if you can spot the difference.
Now let's begin.
So that is in fact the same build-up, it is just missing its tonal element here. And that's what I want to dive into today, the tonal elements of build-ups. And I'm going to do that by showing off a technique where you use Shepard Tones to actually generate your risers. So here's the patch that I used for this riser. And as you can see, I'm using the Shepard Tone modulator right here and here as well. And these are just two oscillators basically running the same thing. One is at -12 and the other is -24, so we're creating two octaves. And then we are using the Shepard Tone to actually determine the pitch. So this LFO is used to determine the pitch. As you can see, it is modulating both Shepard Tones, and it's set to 8/1, so it will go on for 8 bars and then reset. So as you can see, if I play it, you can see that it takes 8 bars here. In this example, it's going to take 7 bars. It's going to play up till here, because the last bar is obviously for the fill, but you can see how it creates this pitching up sound effect. So that's the sound that we're creating here. So here I have a patch with just a sine wave, and I just quickly want to show you what this Shepard Tone modulator actually does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable the Shepard Tone modulator here, and I'm just going to assign an LFO to it. And I want to set this to 2 bars in length, so that we have ample time to actually hear what it's doing. So now let's have a look and a listen to this patch. Now what we can see is that it basically takes our single sine wave and makes a duplicate from that. And then it uses the two to kind of switch position over that amount of time. So they pitch up and they both go up by an octave, which means that the lower sine wave replaces the higher sine wave. Now in this case, the effect is a little bit ruined by the clicks and not quite being aligned. But with an actual Shepard Tone, those transition points are completely inaudible, and it's going to sound like a sound that just continues to pitch up. So back to our patch at hand here, what we're doing is we're essentially generating these two saw waves, and we make our copies, which are then pitched, and through the Shepard Tone we get our pitch up effect. But we want some cool tone to it as well. So we create a lot of voices. Here you can see for the higher octave we're going with 10 voices and 21% of detune, and for the lower one I generally go with less voices and also less detune, as you can see here. Both of them then run through this filter here, which just opens it up over time so that it has another rising component to it. And then we have some effects that are just static. We have a chorus, we have a distortion, and then we have a compressor to take out all of the frequencies. And finally, we have some final EQing. And then you get a sound like this. So that sound just adds a lot of energy to your build-up. And what I like for these kind of build-ups to do, to bring out that energy even more, is to take some of my other elements and apply a little bit of a volume dip to that element. So you can see here, for example, we have the kick that's going down by 1.5 dB. If we look at the bass goes down 1.5 dB. If we look at my percussion group, percussion's going down by 4 dB. So they're making space for the other elements to kind of take over. And then we replace them with higher energy elements. So for example, the snare roll is a big part of it. There's a lot of transients there, there's a lot of high end there, so that's a lot of high energy material there. And that just, again, boosts the energy level. If you just keep them at the same volume and just apply a high pass filter like most people do in their sidehands productions, you're going to struggle a little bit for space. So a little bit of a volume dip allows those other elements to be a little bit louder and provide more of the energy. And that same principle obviously also applies to the Shepard Tone part here, which we can also boost in volume thanks to the dip in volume of the other elements. So that was a little tip that I wanted to give you for today. It's a little bit of a shorter video than my last few, but that's okay. I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless, and if you did, let me know by leaving a like. If you're new here and you want to see more of my tutorials, then subscribe. You can turn on the bell notification to get notified by YouTube whenever I upload something. But that's going to be it. I hope you enjoy the new setup, the new camera angle as well. I slightly moved my camera around and my microphone as well to just mix things up a little bit, make it look a little bit more professional again. So I hope you liked that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.